Hello everyone! So that I've been away for 2 months, I had things to do, and today we'll be playing Monstrous brew. This will be separated into probably a few parts, and I hope you'll enjoy the let's play. Let's get into it. Sugar, butter, flour, milk. May carefully fold the ingredients into each other, humming as she works. Her body sways with her hands, her mind focusing on one thing and one thing only. Make the perfect croissant. A sprinkle of hay dust and voila! Putting the tray of raw straight into the oven, she removes the apron and quickly wipes her powdered hand on it before putting it away. Alright, bye. She goes towards the oven, beginning with a small log. Last batch for the day. A small sentient flame slips out from under it, its large beady eyes glaring up at her with annoyance. I'm sorry, buddy, I know. This is the last one, though. Promise. May smiles pitifully as she tosses the log straight towards it. The elemental begrudgingly gnaws on it before slipping back under the oven. The croissant quickly starts to bake, puffing up and transforming into a toasty golden hue. Within seconds, the oven pops open with a ding. A warm buttery smell fills the bakery, making May grin in delight. But as always, thank you, Vi. With her mittens on, May carefully extracts the tray from the oven and sets it on her countertop. She glances up toward the clock on the far wall. It hands pointing now to 11:57 p.m. Miss Miller shall be here any... As if on cue, the front door of the bakery opens with a familiar chime. In ran a disheveled woman in her mid-30s, holding a tiny toddler in one arm. Hey goodness, thank you so much for taking in orders this late at night. My mother-in-law just wouldn't stop battering me for it. May chuckles as she places the fresh croissant into a baggie. It's no problem, Miss Miller. I even baked a little extra for you to eat on the road. Miss Miller beams clutching the bag of croissant as if they were a treasure. The toddler in her arm squirms and reaches for the pastries. Thank you again, dear. You don't know how much this means to me. Oh, I do. You'd be surprised how many in-law horror stories I heard. Just struggling through it. Any plans of settling down yet, dear? You aren't getting any younger. A nervous giggle escapes May's lips. She fidgets with the hem of her skirt and darts her eyes across the room. Who, me? You're just a little too buzzy right now. Having a partner will be smart by now. Oh, I can't judge that. Sometimes I wish I enjoyed my yacht more too. Smiling, Miss Miller makes a small bite of the spare croissant, her eyes widening in delight. I swear your treats are like heaven in a bite. I must ask, what's your secret? Well, just a little lot of love and a teensy touch of magic. Miss Miller chuckles as May walks out of her bakery. They pose under the glow of the flickering street lamps, the cool night air carrying a faint whiff of dew from the nearby forest. Alright, I get it. A master needs their secrets. I should get home before the little one starts to lose it. He tends to throw a tantrum when he gets restless. The toddler in her arms lets out a protesting whine as if to prove her right. Of course, stay safe on your way home. May waves the two off as they walk down the dimly lit street. And with that, the bakery falls back into silence. The faint hum of the oven is the only sound that fills the air, along with the soft tickling of the clock on the far wall. May takes a moment to breathe, enjoying her moment of peace. As she turns around beyond the tables, something catches her eye. In the corner, hidden amongst the shadow, something shines. Curious, she walks over and picks up the small object, holding it toward the kitchen's light. It's a single glossy black crow's feather with light traces of magic. May runs her fingers over the silky soft veil, mesmerized by its beauty. But there's something more to it, something that sets her nerve on edge. The feather seems familiar. Wait, this is. It takes her a moment to recognize it. When she does, her eyes widen. She's heard of this exact feather before. It's one of Sangmin's, a renowned and feared monster hunter. They are known for leaving behind a single black feather as a warning of impending doom. As the realization sinks in, May's grip on the feather tightens. Heart pounds in her chest as she puts together the pieces. If Sangmin lives distant, that means. She glances towards the clock. 24 hours. That's all the time she has left. No, no, I am not dying. Without wasting a single second, May races toward the front door of the bakery, locking it securely. Once that's done, she quickly dashes through the kitchen and locates a locked door tucked away in the back. Fumbling with the key in her pocket, she unlocks the door and practically dives into her room, slamming it shut behind her. The soft candlelight flickers from the dark wood walls, and the air is filled with the scent of strange herbs and spices. Shelves lined in the room, stocked with neatly lined bottles, each holding a different liquid or ingredient. In the center of the room is a large iron cauldron, its surface scarred with scorch marks from past experiments. Below it lay an old leather-bound book. Its pages were yellow and stained, the edges fading and scratched with age. The edges fading and scratched with age. May rushes to it, almost tripping over the mess on the floor as she does. With her heart racing, she frantically flips through the pages of the book, her mind whirling with the desperation to find something, anything, that could help her. Protection spell? No, unreliable. Invisibility potion? Too obvious. And then she reaches a page and receives the faded ink halfway down the page. A love potion. May's frenzied fingers pause, her breath catching in her throat. Right, a love potion! It was nothing for good. Let's see what I need. She quickly scans through the list of ingredients listed. The song is very well done. I have to sound right. And just look at the background. Art is so well done. Rose petals, check. Serendiers, check. Honey, check. Strawberries, check. She pauses, her heart sinking as she reaches the final word. In part of a monster, nuts check. Her shoulders slump as she takes a deep breath. I knew I should have restocked. How am I supposed to get parts in such a short time? She bites her lip as she looks up, her mind racing for alternative. Time was crucial. The answer, as much as she didn't like it, becomes clear. The nearby forest. With her mind set, she left the potion room and slipped back into the bakery, making sure to lock the door after herself. Didn't think I'd be getting head on today, but if I really have no other choice. May looked around once more, her eyes flickering to the shadows for any sign of Sungmin. Saying nothing, she squares her shoulders and slips out through the bakery's door. The street is quiet and empty, the only sounds coming from the far-off house and rustles of windows through trees. Wandering deep into the woods, May finds herself at an intersection. Two distinct paths. I have a cold. Two distinct paths stretch out before her, each shrouded in thick brush and shadows. Alright, let's see if I remember this right. This path leads to someone who can help me. She pauses, biting her lips as she contemplates. The real question now is, who the heck should I ask? There's Hana, a mad scientist ghost. Sorry, what was that? Sorry. There's Hannah, a mad scientist ghost. She's heard for her obsession with experiment. Probably be the easiest to ask. Next is Dean Hart, leader of the local werewolf pack. They're known for being highly aggressive and hard to get a hold of. Maybe if I make they'll say yes. Right here, we choose who we want to ask. I think for here, I'll ask Hannah. Really a good idea to ask Hannah. I don't think she'll be opposed to helping people, right? Hannah wasn't exactly known for her friendliness, but she was definitely less intimidating than Dean Hart and far easier to interact with. Still, there was a tiny part of me that felt intimidated. Now, which way was her lab again? Well, when in doubt, I always choose right. A loud boom left the forest shaking, leaving, I'm sorry, um, a loud bloom left the forest shaking, leaves fluttering down from the impact. My apologies. Caught by surprise, May's eyes grew wide, stumbling for a second. From the sound of it, surely it couldn't be anything good. Dashing through the forest, the familiar scent of something burning grew stronger with every hurried step. All her years of baking and potion making left her with experience on how to deal with small fires, burnt trees, suits that refused to leave her oven, exposing customers who were cranky before having their baked goods and warm breaks, maybe a never literal expression that couldn't easily be solved by magic. If anything happens to the ghost, she won't even have the chance to meet her or ask for a vital ingredient for her love potion. There's no such thing as a ghost dying twice at least, I think. So I guess third time the charm, but it doesn't apply to death. Sorry to interrupt. Hannah? Hannah? Are you there? Are you okay? The ghost folded by her computer, rolling around as her eyes widened into saucers behind her glasses. Clearly she hadn't been expecting any visitors despite the commotion caused. Her neighbors, if any, would have been long used to her explosive experiments. With a squeak, the ghost disappeared without another word, leaving May to gawk at the empty lab. Awkwardness filled the space, the only sound being something fizzling? Bubbling? Either way, whatever that was in the corner of the room, she didn't really want to find out exactly what that was, lest it be toxic. Oh, fiddlesticks! May groaned, burying her face into her hands. If the witch could disappear at will as well, then she wouldn't even have to worry about someone coming after her. She was all for meeting new people and befriending fellow monsters, but there was still a tiny part of her that felt guilty for meeting them under these circumstances, instead of a bake sale or something to help the community. Uh, Hannah? Hello? I'm not here to hurt you or anything. Silence. Bubbling ooze remains her only companion for the time being. Please come back. Just had a question or request for you, but then I heard the explosion and everything. I swear, I didn't break in with the intent to hurt you. Then quieter. The door was unlocked. I guess ghosts don't really need to worry about that though. Still nothing. No sign of ghostly genius. Naturally felt at a loss. Of course she could try to look for her, but Hannah was a ghost. If she went through walls or hid above the lab, even if May tried to cast spells or herself the same ability running at the time, it will result in wasting energy if the ghost remains stubborn. Flickering lights, the barely there humming of electricity, come to think of it, Hannah did own a computer and it was right there. Maybe she would search something appended to ectoplasm. Didn't seem like a bad idea, considering it was the least fragile attempt in his lab. Probably. May squinted at the keyboard, reaching out toward the computer. Wait! Don't touch that! May jumps back only to stumble through the ghost in her haste. Hannah made a sound akin to disgust and swooped upward as if she could dodge it. It, it wasn't that bad. I had worse outcomes from experiments. Hmm? Oh, I guess. What happened? Did I click? Let's return. I had worse outcomes from experiments. Hannah throws off faintly guilty. Her arm wavers for a moment, mirroring her unease. Alright, maybe it turned out a little worse this time. Just a little. But I know exactly what went wrong in the experiment. I expected it to combust, but the explosion exceeded my calculation just by a small margin. Isn't it fixed and actually? Huh. Hannah throws off her glasses, glinting in the light. It was as if a light bulb had gone off in her head as she seemed to glow brighter. Or perhaps that's just a trick of the light, considering that they were flickering, and May was a little worn out after all the running. When did she get so close? Whoa! Hannah beamed at her, clasping her hands together in obvious glee. But it was just meant to be! At first I was really scared because I didn't know why you were here, why you were suddenly standing in the middle of my lab. You know, it's pretty much my home. You'd be shocked if someone suddenly showed up in your living room, right? Not that I have one either, but I'm sure you can understand. Um, uh, what? But besides that, maybe if it was fate all along. Even if the sky fell down and unraveled itself, surely the stars have aligned in my favor. Maybe you've been a blessing in disguise all along. Hold on, what about the stars? Here, I'm a woman of science, self-magic, or astrological thingamabobs, sorry. I didn't spend years and years getting my degree for nothing. Though I don't remember the details, I'm sure my dissertation was terribly long. Whatever mercury in Wolfsbane or Kool-Aid means, it has nothing to do with me. The only mercury I deal with is the kind of heavy silvery white liquid at room temperature with extremely poisonous and high vapor pressure. Wait, don't go near that either. That's exactly the type of mercury I'm talking about. Just have something inside yourself just lying around. Never mind that May had been standing still the whole time. Hannah swoops down, ushering May away from the test tubes by the table and seemingly into the only chair available on the path. It doesn't affect me anyways, and I wasn't expecting guests. I wouldn't keep it out if I had known beforehand. I'm a scientist at heart. Lab safety is important even if it's my personal laboratory. Sit, don't be so polite. Not actually retrograde. Best to let her be with her own beliefs. Well, if she's a scientist, I think that it's better if she knows, but it could actually also ruin a bit of her self-esteem or something. Maybe she'll be mad and won't want to help me as well. But, let's point it out. It's retrograde. Huh? So it had something to do with blood. It just sounds correct, you know? The stuff for can absolutely charm during night time. I think my favorite color was, really green one. It's my favorite color anyways. Flavor too when it counts. Honey goes softly as May sits down with a sigh. At least she tried. Oh, with her best are practically matching. It's always helpful to keep some solutions nearby, huh? Self-defense, calculus, things like that. Though I guess yours must be potions. You're a witch, right? I mean, you certainly look like one with that hat and all, unless you're dressing up for some occasion. So you must have some experience handling potions and the like. And well, I haven't had any experience I can remember in witchcraft, but I'm sure it can be that far removed from science. It's probably like distant cousins. Hey, this is perfect. It's really perfect. You'll help me then, right? Huh? I mean, you're already here anyway. And you're probably not busy with anything else if you go take a stroll this deep into the forest. Especially at this time. Goodness me, Slate's time really flies out the window when you're daydreaming away. Mia opens her mouth and then closes it. Honestly, she was probably trained to survive. So Hannah played a key role in her successfully being able to. The ectoplasm was absolutely vital to the health potion, and she didn't risk trying to create it without the component. A tiny part of her had been nagging instantly, banging pots and pans as if to alarm her inner self to adhere to what she's always known and grown up with. Always on a helping hand in exchange. Maybe helping her wouldn't be so bad. If anything, Mako trusted that the ghost had no intention of to kill her, nor should she ever. If playing along could give her the ectoplasm in return, she didn't see why not. Well, I mean, I can't say forever that's for sure, but I'm happy to help you to the best of my abilities. In fact, maybe you could help me out too. Decided speaking sweet straight I've been trying to perfect this one thing. It wasn't like Mimi was lying, so she held on to hope that maybe the other could relate to her pursuits, and therefore be more willing to offer her the ectoplasm. What do you need? It's inevitable to turn itself completely off after a time or beeps, to never have burn baked food again. A measuring spoon will tell you the exact amount down to the very last gram. Or we could ask about the ectoplasm, or not ask. Which one should I pick? Should I ask now or I won't. Actually, let's get whatever you need sorted out first. I can ask you about it later on. This is more important. You're not going to ask for something extraordinary, right? You might be smart, but I'm not the one with magic in my hands. Hannah lowers her voice. If you want money, I hate to break it to you, but all my expenses go into experiments. So then the worst is boots, so broke just a go. It's not money, I'm not concerned about your financial situation. Also now I'm a little worried. I'm starting to think that I might have misjudged you and your character. Really? Major calls awkwardly, not knowing as Major calls awkwardly, not knowing if she meant it in a good way or a bad way. Hannah beams wildly, twirling into her hair out of sheer joy. I can't believe I'm going to have my own The Lab assistant. My dearest witchling, are we going to have so much fun? I truly believe this is it. It'll be a whole new breakthrough history will be made. We let a sigh of relief at that. She didn't know even to. I'm so sorry. Didn't know enough about the ectoplasm just yet, but any part of a monster will surely be something precious. It seems like she's made the right decision by what think. Still, urgency ripped at the heart. The feathers weighing heavily on her mind and in her pocket. Yeah, I'll try my best. For now, if you don't mind helping me clean up, I appreciate any help there. The broom's just in the closet. It's really hard to sweep sometimes, though. I can touch and interact with objects, but it takes so much energy to get the chores done. Hannah glazes lowers, something akin to sorrow flickering in her eyes before she turns away to face her table instead. It didn't go unnoticed by me, at least, but it didn't seem like it'd be right of her to press further. People can do truly awful things to achieve their heart's desire. Those are the real monsters you have to worry about. This world can make monsters out of, well, monsters, but I don't have to remember everything about my life to know that. And you. She swoops over, mimicking tapping May on the nose. I think you must be a really kind person, so you should be extra careful out there, or in general. Sure, I kinda looked you into this just then, but most people will probably try and argue with me on it instead of going with the flow. Oh, you're pretty flexible, aren't you? Maybe you can help me grab the beaker that's falling behind my computer. I can try, but wait, can't you pass through objects and walls? I can, but it's like, ugh. It's not the best feeling in the world. I don't even know how to begin describing it. Plus, sometimes I forget that I can in the first place. May nods slowly, trailing after the ghost as she directs her to the drawer. Start here. The formula from the last time should be written on some kind of paper. Probably. This sounds really helpful. Oh, you'll know it's the right thing when you say it. May started rolling up her sleeves as she examined what's in front of her. Let's start with the drawer on the left. Look, there's only an empty picture frame in here, some pens, and newspaper clipping. Not that they are readable, maybe if I should... Not they are readable, maybe I should just think of it as a shredded newspaper. Me from sweeping at the words. Still, she can piece together some parts of it. It sounds like Hannah was really well respected when she was alive, so... Why hasn't she ever heard of her and her discoveries? Hold on, do they on these? May shoves them back into where she found them, shaking her head. Let's draw on the right. It seems like there's a notebook, but there are so many sticky notes in the farmhouse scribbled in here. There's something that May can recognize, so it must be something really advanced in the field. May closes the notebook, setting it back down. If she stares at it for any longer, it feels like she might as well pass out. I don't think it's in here. Is there anywhere else I can look? May looks up, watching as Anne tosses the items over her shoulder, with frightening accuracy, having landed safely on the table somehow. Let's start here, with my huge stack of paper. Don't worry, it won't fall, it's basically an abstract art piece by now. I feel like it's always been there. May glances at it nervously, finally nodding. Well, if you say so. Hannah turns around, squinting at her. Actually, wait, let's look at that together later. Maybe try the cabinet with all the wires? Me being surprised, did she notice her hesitation just now? Regardless, British wells up in her. Will it be safer to have the two of them tackle the stack of paper? Especially when it looked like it was a paper away from tipping over. Risk-taking and cleaning that up will be an absolute nightmare, thought for sure. Would you really put that in there? Hey, organized chaos is still organized. Sometimes I just sweep everything into the drawer and call it a day. I'll really be going through it the next day anyway. I'll just look through the drawer that's already open. Maybe you'll find more talk for your chalkboard if not anything else. Rummaging through the drawers, all Mick comes across is more files, papers haphazardly shoved to feet, and miscellaneous items don't seem to be of much use. Aside from the chalk and dry erase marker at least, taking a closer look, it seems like NaOH was already scribbled on the packaging. I guess that counts as paper. Did she not have anything else to write on? I better bring this to her. Here it says NaOH on here. Hannah lights up her eyes, practically sparkling at the discovery. Ha! Sodium hydroxide, of course. It's typically used as a base in experiment, but it has to be dissolved in water first since it appears as white crystals. Only small amounts can be used safely after being dissolved in heat, yet NaOH will appear to be clear. You're a baker, right? May blinked surprised at the student question. Suddenly she felt a little self-conscious. Did the scent of baked good linger on her? Or did her strawberry perfume give it away? Well, yes. I thought you mentioned it earlier. In baking, you often have to add salt, even if it's in sweets. The formula for edible table salt is NaCl, with Na representing sodium and Cl for chloride. We call it sodium chloride. It's the same sodium you can find in sodium hydroxide, although table salt is edible, and water is definitely not made for consumption. I actually didn't know that. I just thought it was to help balance recipes and make the sweetness intensity go up. Hannah nods eagerly at that. Hmm? Adding salt to foods and other edibles like thyme can help with masking the bitterness. I have to keep emphasizing the edible part. I have to say I'm a little worried you might try to eat something in here. Don't think I haven't noticed you eyeing my distillation setup. Let's ask about the distillation process. I was just curious. I won't go around randomly trying things. I have some amount of self-preservation. You lowers your hand, dissuading the implication instantly. Hannah sighs, visibly relieved. Distilled water is fine to drink, though it will contain less mineral inside. Experiment-wise, the process tends to include salt water or some kind of solution, usually a liquid that contains more than one substance. By heating it in the distilled flask, it evaporates and the vapor separates itself from other impurities in the process. Then, by cooling it back down into a liquid through the condenser. Hmm, the more you know. So if you ever want to take a sip out of a river or something, you have to distill it first in order to be safe. Oh, you probably can't stack that easily either, huh? Well, let's move on for now. Hannah's words made now at her lips the sense of your gesture refusing to relinquish its grip on her heart. Countless thoughts bouncing around her head like ping pong balls, incessant in their motions. Forcing a smile, May shifts the subject at hand to something else, something less related to her impending doom. Do you like plants a lot? I thought your workout was more centered around explosion and things like that instead of photosynthesis or something. I do! Although the plants here are just invited themselves in, they're kind companions. There was a period of time where I was I'm sorry. Um, there was a period of time where I experimented on illoly leaves to see if they photosynthesis in the dark and then forget-me-nots to see if I could extract pigments from the pollen. But relevant expertise lies in more explosive experiments if it's in where it's an explosive material. Remember the stack of paper? My life work of art? As if May could ever forget the looming tower of paper spread carelessly on the desk. Hannah points a gloved fingers toward it anyway. It's full of research I have done to find ways to substitute them in experiments to reduce the risk of people putting themselves in danger. Though there's a lot of failed experiment in there too, but I'm a scientist. Every setback is something that can be learned from as long as I try hard enough and find out what went wrong. That's a lot. Han nods excitedly. I could probably talk to you through the one I remember since they're up at the tippy top, but they're not from that long ago and actually let me get some air real quick. She's a little stuffy, but I'll get to listen to you when I'm back. In the meantime, maybe you can look for some clothes on your free. I'll be right back, don't worry. May hated to interrupt, but she could tell right away that Hannah could and would talk for hours. She didn't have much time on her hands, but seeing how easily Anna could get distracted, the search for gloves should be enough to keep her occupied for a moment, right? Oh yeah, right. I've had my gloves on for so long. They're like a second skin. Silly me. I should have looked for a pair for you before you touched anything. Go and wash your hands first just in case, alright? After all, even the tiniest thing or tidbit of another chemical can cause a reaction depending on what it's interacting with. I know how that goes from first-hand experience. Hana's understandingly rolling off into another room, presumably for storage. May's eyes slipping outside without another word. A quick stroll around the premises should be enough to help clear her thoughts. Somehow, she can't shake out the feeling that she's being watched even though there's nothing out here except for trees, more trees, and probably the shadows. My, what do we have here? I'll go witch wandering around like a lost little lamb. If you weren't doing such an amazing job hiding behind a tree, I wouldn't have even seen you. You! You're... After you, yes. I thought you'd be hiding away tucked in your gold bakery instead. Imagine my surprise when I found you out here instead. Spontaneous trip? Spur of the moment decision to explore the forest? It's a little strange for your last wish, but who am I to judge? You chuckled leaning closer to me. I have to say, I haven't seen anyone else try to go on a grand trips onwards before the inevitable strike. Always been an interesting one. It's a shame we had to formally meet like this, I suppose. Okay, we either run away or talk something. Since he's a hunter, it's obvious we can't run away and we won't be fast enough, I think. But talking will maybe gain some time, but it's still dangerous. I think I'll try the talking option. You can't scare me, not any further. We crosses her arm defensively, saying probably it will be enough to hide the trembling in her hands. Every heartbeat, it felt like she could hear the ominous bells tolling, echoing in her head. Oh, so I mean, you're scared, should I say, boo? And voice curled around the walls, smokingly almost a jab at the nearby laboratory. May clenches her fist, eyes now winked. You have to be snarky and stone-faced all the time. Or isn't the fuck Corgan or something? The main shrugs a coy smirk tugging on their lips. They held up their hands, placating. Your words, not mine. Don't assume what you're not ready to learn, of reserving to hear of. Besides, I thought we were having a pleasant conversation here, the debate between who can hurl the best insults. I don't have time to go back and forth with you when I haven't done anything to deserve this. It's debatable. Maybe you're just willingly remaining ignorant of the processes you've enabled. The harm that you kind has rolled up for centuries and even longer. Something huffs, seeing me fall silent. My lustful words? Because surrender earlier could make it easier for the both of us, what do you say? Some men leans closer, ugly their eyes. Well? Well, Mitch rose up, planning to faint. Well? Well... Nope. Sumin blinked at that, very confused. They opened their mouth, about to speak again, but she stood on signaling foot, as hard as she called, as if it were some menacing bug that needed to be disposed of. Ow! May turned on her heel, breaking off into a mad dash back to the lab and slammed the door behind her. For good measure, she shoved the chair in front of him, despite knowing full well it couldn't do much against them. Still, it was better than nothing. The exhilarating pain shoots up as long as they grabbed their cramping foot with both hands, freezing May and giving her the brief window she needs to escape. Without a second thought, she runs as fast as she can. You stupid little witch, I have your damn head. Someone had experienced pain before, both mentally and physically. They thought they were ready for anything that was thrown their way. Within that during their long journey of becoming a monster hunter, they forgot one key piece of advice from their well-renowned father. You need to watch out for the cute ones. Wow, wonderful advice. They're always the most deadly. Hannah pokes her head out of the other room, putting back to the main lab. Oh, Kitty, you're back! May squeezed turning around as naturally as possible. Good thing she got her breath quickly. Undeterred, Hannah continues speaking. I can't find the pipette I used last time. If I'm right, she'll still have some of the blue reagent inside. Last time I used 3 drops, so there should still be a drop inside. This time I used 4 drops instead. and not corrosive, so I'm sure it's fun to touch with your bare hands if you do find it. But here, we need to find some clothes for you. Oh, thank you. Their fingers brush as amazing. The clothes, noticing how they seem to be brand new. In contrast, Hana's pair wasn't torn or thin or anything, but here some of the shine had been lost over time. May quickly draws back, zipping them on. Pleased, Hana pushes her glasses up, then points behind me. I think I might have tossed it onto the desk near my monitors. You can check there. If it's not there, maybe you can at least find my beaker? That's better than nothing. Alright, you got it. I look inside, behind the phone. I doubt it's near here, but she pointed in his general direction, so it seems like three screens on her work desk, but with a broken one cut in stick and the last one constantly crashing with error. Not to mention all the overgrown vines that crept into the lab. Well, at least she's finally around the beaker. She finally found the beaker I had not mentioned way earlier. Inside the potted monster wrap. I doubt it's near here, but she pointed in the general direction, so. Huh? Why would Hannah keep her keys in here? May whispers to herself and seeing that Hannah isn't paying attention, she decides to take a closer look. A jumble of keys in different sizes, likely for doors, cabinets, and more paired with a cartoonish frog wearing a purple bow dangled from the carabiner. It seems like Hannah's favorite color really was green, both during her life and in the afterlife. Probably best to keep these for now, even if Hannah doesn't need to block her own laboratory's door. I found the beaker, but not the pipette. Maybe it's us to the void then. Don't bother wasting your time there. Then I'm pretty sure we can figure out which reagent we'll need. Besides, more importantly, I must have scribbled down the last step on the whiteboard. Or maybe it was just the chalkboard? Just try and see if there's anything by the one near my abstract art piece. By now, you should know the one. May looks over to where Hannah's pointing, grimacing slightly. There's so much paper, even if she cranes her neck, there's no way she'd be able to clearly read the content of the board. Remember what? I'm not reading this, sorry. Wait, maybe I can try. 43.196FC7B CH4 plus 0 plus O2 is superior to CO2 plus H2O. 3.1456 stir slow methionine 3-onyl 3-onyl isoleucine. I think I'm gonna get dizzy. I think I got it? Good enough for me, if anything. I'll just use the process of elimination when we get to the last step. The last time something blew up is because I had too much heat, I think. You don't sound so sure of yourself. Hannah waves a hand dismissively. I'm fine. I'm not letting anything happen to you. Now are you ready to start and take part in the best science experiment in your life? I'm ready as I'll ever be. Before we start, do you have any questions? I can't imagine not being nervous. It's close to potion making, but you're still dealing with something outside of your usual elements. I really don't know. Should I ask about it now or after? Because right now someone is after me, so I feel like, you know what? I'll save. Return. Let's ask it. alright? There is one thing, but I don't want to trouble you. Hannah shakes her head. Who knows, I promise. Just ask away. May took a deep breath, unsure of how to approach the subject. It was no need to be nervous after all. I had already reassured her, and she'd have no reason to lie anyways. I'm really scared of what's going to happen right now. To put it simply, I'm bringing a very important potion, and the feeling right I need is ectoplasm. I just know it's from ghosts, and hopefully I'm not being rude in assuming it's a glowing blob of some sort. May frowns deep in thought. Well, I think I'll leave it to you. Once we're done with this experiment? May looks up at her surprised. Wait, really? Anna's smiling idly. Yeah, you've never once completely given as I had you run back and forth to look at the component needed for the experiment. I don't know what I'd do without him. I'm sure the experiment will go off without a hitch, so just take a seat for now. I'll just get started on it and then bring over the ectoplasm for you. Hannah beams at her, scooping away to fiddle with the items on the desk. May nods, stepping back from the table in search of the spinning stool. Despite not knowing the most comfortable Despite not being the most comfortable chair in the world, she found herself slowly growing fond of it. Taking a sip, she spins around waiting for Hannah. And there we go! Hannah twirls around mid-hair, scooping over to May as her lab coat fluttering to her with haste. Whoa! May jumps up, sending the stool spinning off, only to hear it collide with something metal. In the middle of the hour, she turns around, watching the tower of paper sway from side to side. Oh dear. Oh no! The two spoke at the same time, rushing over to try and stop the inevitable, despite the both of them reaching out to try to study the worst of it. They were only partially successful in their haste. Papers still go flying around everywhere, the ones up drifting down slowly onto the ground. Oh, that's a bummer. Did I press you again? Sorry. I'm so sorry. No, I should be the one apologizing. I'm just glad you aren't hurt. May winces the two of them still standing, stocks fail to keep whatever they can upright onto the desk. It was moments like these where May really wished she was taller. Though Hannah didn't really sound upset, there was still a sizable amount that toppled over. Beyond that, though, Hannah still hadn't removed her hands from where it was put on. Anna still hadn't removed her hand from where it was placed on top of hers. She might not be the strongest witch around in terms of brute strength and magical spells, but she held her own fair share of picking ingredients. The moonlight flitted through the windows pane, casting the lab in soft light. Had that much time passed already? Hannah? May tentatively spoke, wanting to spoke her out of her thoughts. I was just thinking, seeing my life's work raining down like that. I spent a long time researching, huh? Without realizing it's really a few people have grown into an entire tower. I don't even remember what's at the very bottom anymore. I looked at the papers thoughtfully before seemingly making a decision. Please do the honor here. Just let go and knock it down for me. Wait, what? I gasped in disbelief, only receiving a nod from Hannah's confirmation. Yeah, it's about time anyways. If I can't remember the very first experiment I've done, then it's not a matter of time, it's a matter of me losing focus on what my goals are as a scientist. I've always wanted to help people, but after I died, it becomes so absorbed in my own work. I have forgotten the true meaning of my work. and the hopes I conveyed through it. Hana, May's expression softened a bit. Alright, throw your hands still on top of mine, so let's go together then? Yeah, let's. May was taking a step back, then another, the two slowly retracting their hands. May nudges the stack that stubbornly stabilized itself on the desk, giving it the final push needed to completely fall over. Papers slid down with the farthest countdown and the first few that rained down, but this time, Hannah's hand gently took hers, raising it to tug her closer. Oh! Now facing one another, Hannah's cheek glowed brighter, her eyes darting to the side before meeting May's curious gaze. What can't I read? God, Arslan is so cute though. We finally got a CG, guys. Hey, is this alright? His voice, so as she had ever heard it'd been, rubbed itself around the letters of her name as if it were a snake coiling around an apple. But hesitated before nervously nodding. This, she wasn't reading this wrong. She was knowing when Hannah's gaze fell to her lips, then back up. You're sure it's alright? Hannah's smile was practically glowing from both joy and the literal sense. With May's consent, she leans in, but before the lips cold, their glasses collided together, first with a clack. Whoa! The two jerked back from the impact, and yet Hannah burst into laughter, gently guarding her gloved fingers through May's hair before tucking a stray strand behind her ear. I'm really glad you showed up here, actually. I mean, it's when I see you're a kind person. You helped me out with so much today. May's cheek flushed red and got thoroughly flustered. Hannah was very, very close to her. Maybe the lab was getting warmer too? Did the hair conditioner decide to turn itself off after reaching the optimal room temperature? May's thoughts scrambled up in her head, leaving her dizzy from proximity. The husband felt probably reminiscent of their first date. You see, you're well here and realize something really, really important. Anne tilts her head, her smile growing wider as May's fingers it with her own. Why do I keep chasing me through bygones after things I didn't remember? If I can't remember, really bad and painful things I did. Unless you're here, we can discover better things together. May business focusing on the last part. Together? Hannah's eagerly clasping the witch's hand into hers once again. See, there was too much for her on top. I should have been returning to my roots all along. Just like how a plant will slowly grow from a seed into a sapling, extending its roots as time passes. I should be looking at this from another perspective instead. Hannah pulls May along with her, twirling her around and kicking up a few stray pieces of paper in her haste. Having a lab assistant really does work wonder on productivity. I wonder that with you by my side, we could finish redoing every single experiment I tried out in my stack. Besides that, magic and science together, just think of all the brilliant solutions we could come up with. May's eyes widened. What Hannah was speaking of was absolutely unheard of. Pure madness. But there are no meant to mix the after effect will be. Hannah tosses her hair behind her shoulder, dismissing May's worries of flourish. No one will know. Everyone else is too scared of rumors. They are too self-centered to try and get to actually know me. To try and understand that I've been trying to help people like them all along. Can you imagine doing that while being alive and then continue to do so into afterlife? Not saying I was happy to have died in the first place. It's just that if I hadn't, I wouldn't have been able to experiment on so many things. And most of all, wait, but you came to find me because I had something you needed, and that's the only reason we were able to meet in the first place. You're not wrong, but it's just a means to an end. I think you're brilliant, but I persistent to what you actually want. This can't. Shh. I know. You need the ectoplasm, right? But I can't give you that just yet. I said I'd give it to you at the end of the experiment, remember? You probably weren't lying when you said you didn't know much about it. But, God can only give it away when they are at peace. And with you here, I'm more obvious than I've ever been during the centuries I've been alive. Then, then wouldn't mind give it to me, right? May laughed nervously despite the chill that ran down her spine as Hannah was very polite, the unmistakable glee in her eyes. I don't mind. I give it to you right now. Leave me to disappear all on my own. And I've come to realize that I too enjoy having company. Entertaining guests can be fun, especially when they're as good and helpful as you. May gulped turning her hand back, but not before Hannah pecked May's hand, tickling softly against the thread bounding in his blood. I don't want to have to keep you here by force or anything, but it's a win-win situation. Make use of reason until you get what you need to. I'm sure the question is important to you, but like I said, I'll make sure you're safe and sound during every experiment. But look, Freya, so we better start now. It doesn't matter, just give yourself out of order. And it's fine if I don't remember which was the best or earliest experiment. After all, you've got all time in the world to start it out. Together. What? Oh my goodness, I got the patent date? No way. No way. How? Why? What's always happened to me every time I play a game I get the patent first? You know what? I can do another round next time. So, I hope you'll be here for part 2 as well. Goodbye, everyone. So, this was a great game. The Ursula is very cute. The story is great, and I'll probably be playing it again. So, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and goodbye, everyone.